afternoon.
Questa quarta e ultima domenica di Avvento
On this fourth and final Sunday of Advent, the Gospel proposes us once again the account of the Annunciation. Rejoice, says the angel to Mary, you will conceive in your womb a son, and you call his name Jesus.
un annuncio di pura
It
gioia,
seems an announcement of pure joy,
fare felice
destined to make the Virgin happy.
chi tra le donne del tempo
Among the women of that time, which woman did not dream of becoming the mother of the Messiah?
ma insieme alla gioia
But along with this joy, those words foretell
grande prova.
a great trial for Mary. Why?
Perché in quel momento
Because in that moment,
la promessa sposa,
she was betrothed to Joseph.
promessa sposa
She was promised to Joseph.
in tale situazione
In such a situation,
la legge di Mosè
the law of Moses stipulated
non dovevano essere
that there should be no
rapporti
relations
o abitazioni.
or cohabitation.
Dunque,
Therefore,
un figlio
in having a son,
avrebbe
Mary would have transgressed the law,
le pene per le donne
and the punishment for women were terrible.
la lapidazione.
It was foreseen that they would be stoned.
ஹலோ ஆளு என்னடா வீடியோ வர மாட்டேங்குது.
Certainly,
Il messaggio divino
the divine message
Ali, video
would have
வரமாட்டேங்குதுடா.
filled Mary's heart with
Video
light
வரமாட்டேங்குதுடா.
and strength.
ella si
வீடியோ வர
Nevertheless, she
மாட்டேங்குதுடா.
found herself faced with a crucial
வீடியோ வர
decision
மாட்டேங்குது.
to say yes to God, risking everything,
presa la vita
even her life,
ஆளு
or to decline the invitation
வீடியோ வர மாட்டேங்குதுடா.
and to continue
il suo cammino.
with her ordinary life.
ஏய் சத்தியமாடா.
Che cosa fa?
What does she do?
Risponde
She responds thus,
கிளிக் பண்ணி என்ன பண்ணும்?
avvenga per
let it be to me according to your word.
கிளிக் பண்ணி என்ன பண்ணும்?
nella lingua in cui è scritto il Vangelo
In the language in which the gospel is written,
si faccia.
it means, it does not mean just an ordinary yes,
Significa lavoro,
but it is a strong
qualcosa si realizza.
and active submission.
என்னது?
It's not a submission to God.
இல்ல
She
ஆளு.
is not just saying, if it has to happen, let it happen, if it cannot be otherwise. No, she does not express a weak and submissive acceptance,
ஏய், என்னடா?
but she expresses a strong and vivacious desire. It is not passive, but it is active.
Non subisce
She does not submit to God, she binds herself to God.
dimorata.
The submission to God. She is a woman, she is not just saying prepared to serve her Lord completely and immediately.
Avrebbe potuto chiedere un po' di
Io
She
tempo.
could have asked for a little time to think about it, or even more explanation about what would happen.
வீடியோ வருதா?
Qualche condizione.
Perhaps she could have even set some conditions. Instead, she does not take time. She does not keep God waiting. She does not delay.
Quante volte pensiamo a noi adesso?
Let us think about ourselves. How often in our lives are made of postponements, even our spiritual lives.
So mi fa bene pregare.
I know it's good for me to pray, but today I do not have time. Tomorrow and tomorrow we postpone things.
Lo farò domani.
I will do it tomorrow.
So che aiutare qualcuno è molto importante.
I know that to help someone is important, but
Catena dei
today I can't. I'll do tomorrow. Then we have a chain of tomorrows, postponing.
porte del Natale.
Today, on the threshold of Christmas, Mary invites us not to postpone, but to say yes.
Devo pregare? Sì.
If I have to pray, yes, I try to pray. If I have to help someone, yes, how am I going to do it? And I do it without postponing.
Ogni sì,
Every yes costs something,
dico. Ma sempre meno di quanto
but it always costs less than what that courageous and prompt yes that cost her
secondo la tua parola.
when she said, let it be to me according to your word, which brought us salvation.
Noi. Quali
And us,
possiamo dire
what yes can we say?
in questo tempo difficile?
In this, instead of complaining in this
Pandemia
difficult times about what the pandemic prevents us from doing, let us do something for someone who has less. Not the endless gift for ourselves and our friends, but for a person in need, whom no one thinks of.
Un altro consiglio,
Another piece of advice.
perché Gesù nasca in noi,
In order for Jesus to be born in us, let us
andiamo a pregare,
prepare our hearts. Let us go and pray.
non ci lasciamo portare avanti dal consumismo.
Let us not let ourselves be taken up by consumerism. I need to buy this, a frenetic wish to buy things. The most important thing is Jesus. Consumerism.
Consumismo, fratelli e sorelle, ci ha sequestrato
Consumerism, dear brothers and sisters, has taken over our Christmas.
non è la mangiatoia,
Consumerism is not in the manger of Bethlehem. There we see poverty, a reality, and love.
prepariamo il cuore come di Maria,
Let us prepare our hearts as that of Mary,
accogliendo
being welcoming
da Dio.
and listening to God.
Avvenga per me secondo la
Let it be to me according to your word.
frase della Vergine,
This is the Blessed Virgin Mary's last word for this last Advent, and it is an invitation to take a genuine step towards Christmas. For if the birth of Jesus does not touch our lives,
la tua,
your life and all our lives, if it does not touch all our lives, it slips past us in vain. In the Angelus now, we too will say, let your word be fulfilled in me.
la Madonna
May Our Lady help us to say it with our lives, with an attitude in these last days of preparing for Christmas. And now the Angelus prayer in Latin, after which the Pope will give us a blessing.
benedetto frutto ventris tu, Gesù.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini,
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, grazia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Gesù.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, grazia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Genitrix.
Ut digni efficiamur promissionibus Christi.
Gratiam Tuam, quae sumus Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, ut angelo annunziante Christi Filii Tui, incarnationem coniovimus, per passionem eius et crucem, a resurrectione gloriam perducamur, per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defuntis. Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua luceat eis.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saeculum.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui fecit caelum et terram.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
There we are. We've just received the blessing from the Holy Father, and he gave us earlier on an exhortation, inspiring us to remember to follow Mary.
Fratelli e sorelle,
Dear brothers and sisters,
la pandemia di coronavirus
the coronavirus pandemic has caused
lavoratori marittimi
a lot of disadvantages to those seafarers, those who work at sea. More than
del mondo
about
sono
4,000
bloccati sulle navi oltre i termini
people
e non possono
have lost
tornare a
contracts,
casa.
and many cannot return home, are blocked at sea.
Alla Vergine Maria, Stella Maris,
I pray to Mary, who is
persone
the patroness,
vivono situazioni
to comfort all those people at sea, the seafarers, who are
a fare il
having
possibile
difficulties,
perché possano
and that governments will be able to help them to return home.
Quest'anno
This year,
gli organizzatori hanno avuto la felice idea
the organizers
di fare la mostra 100 presepi
wanted to make the nativity scene
sono tanti
here.
presepi.
In the columns of St. Peter's, there are about 100 nativities, or
Vi invito a visitare
I invite you to visit the 100 nativity scenes that are in the columns of St. Peter's.
con l'arte
Then you will see what people are trying to do with art.
che sono sotto il colonnato sono una
Those
grande catechesi
nativity
della
scenes
fede.
in the columns or at home are an catechesis for our faith.
Bambini di vari paesi.
And now the Pope greeting the people who are in the square.
Il Natale ormai vicino,
Christmas is near now, that it will be for all of us a moment to review and to renew our lives interiorly,
i passi avanti
a conversion, and also to make advances in our faith.
intorno.
Let us look inside ourselves,
Pensiamo soprattutto a quanti sono nell'indigenza,
especially those that are not well, those that are suffering, poor, wherever they are.
che soffre ci
A
appartiene.
brother and sister who is suffering is part of us.
Nella mangiatoia,
And Jesus in the manger,
quello che soffre è Gesù.
that is Jesus in the manger. Whoever you see is suffering is actually a representation of Jesus. May Christmas be a moment for us to come closer to those that are suffering. In our suffering brother and sister,
Questo è il presepe vivente.
we need to respond with
Presepe
solidarity.
incontreremo davvero il
Thus,
nelle persone
the
che
poor
hanno bisogno.
are actually a living nativity scene.
Verso la nota santa e attendiamo il
And as we move towards our mystery of salvation at Christmas,
a tutti auguro
wish
una
God,
buona domenica.
and so He wishes us all
Auguri, non dimenticatevi di
a
pregare.
lovely Sunday. Please do not forget to pray for me.
Pranzo e arrivederci.
Enjoy your lunch and arrivederci. Viva Papa, respond the crowd in St. Peter's Square. And that brings us to the end of our Angelus for this fourth Sunday of Advent with Pope Francis in St. Peter's Square. As I said earlier, do take note that Pope Francis will not have the usual Wednesday audience this week. Instead, on Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. Rome time, you can join us for Christmas Eve Mass. My name is Father Paul Samasumo. Allow me, before we go, to thank our television viewers and radio listeners of Catholic TV, Shalom World TV, Catholic Faith Network, EWTN Television, Salt and Light Television, Atmadashan TV, Luminous Radio, and Radio Maria, Papua New Guinea. On behalf of Vatican Media, a big thank you to all our technicians who have made this broadcast possible, and to all of you for joining us. Thank you, and have a blessed Sunday, and Merry Christmas. Laudato Jesus Christus, praise be